This was a really good movie. If you don't want something that's different, then go watch Fury Road again.
Chris Hemsworth, to me, is one of those actors
Thor.
He's Thor.
I think he was so compelling. I was like, oh my God. I could have watched him and Anya Taylor-Joy, I think, for hours as these characters. That last conversation between them, I was like, this is so good. Hello, fellow cave dwellers. Welcome back to our podcast, Beyond the Cave. We're your host, Olivia Devine.
And my name is Rectus Erectus.
I like this. I like that you're doing this.
I've got a thing.
He's found his thing, everyone. He's found his thing.
We just saw
a Furiosa, a Mad
Max Saga.
Yes. Okay, I was gonna go back.
You were,
okay,
I closed my eyes.
We just saw Furiosa, a Mad
Max
Saga.
Wow, that is just so good for.
I thought it was great.
Okay.
So yes, today we're going to be talking about Mad Max.
We're really excited to talk about Mad Max, and you have not seen the first one.
No, and
you
haven't
Fury
either.
Road. I have seen Fury Road, and my thing is that I just want to jump into this and be like, what did you think of this world?
There's one thing they tell you in writing school. Don't tell us what you want to think. Just say what you're thinking.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking, would you still love me if I was Furiosa?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. No,
I think.
This was a really good movie.
Okay.
I really, really liked it. What did you think?
I thought this was a really good movie.
You have so much I don't know.
I will say.
Did you passionately love it?
I passionately loved it. Just a slight less than the first one.
Oh, I've never.
I hate comparison.
We're going to talk about the comparison.
Thief of all joy.
We're going to talk about that.
But I still really loved it.
Good. I'm glad.
And so, in me asking, okay, you really liked it. The first thing I just kind of want to ask you about is like the universe. Because it's crazy, man. What is the Mad Max like?
Okay,
my God.
I have a canon, and I wrote it down.
Okay.
I wrote it down, so let me find it, and I'm really excited about it. So at the beginning of the movie, of this one, there was like this montage of voices saying like, humans are fighting each other, humans are getting sick, there's pandemics, there's war, everyone's like lost all sense of...
No, I know what you're going to say.
And then they zoom in on this map, but it's like, it might have been upside down Australia. It was Australia. We zoom into the middle of Australia. So we know that the wastes are Australia. Also with what they're wearing, what they talked about, and some of the other things, we know that before that happened to humanity, the world was like what we live in right now, or something similar to that. So I'm taking that knowledge and I'm plugging it into the first Planet of the Apes movie.
I knew that was
And I'm bringing them together because you asked this, I think, in that episode. You were like, what about the other parts of the world? Or maybe you asked me when we were just like walking someday.
This is what happened to Australia.
In my canon, when that happened, I made these immediate connections and I was like, okay, so in America, apes have taken over. In Australia, crazy men have taken over.
This is a male-dominated
universe
world.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting that the green place was like...
Wait a second.
Whatever.
What do you think of my connection and my canon?
Oh, sorry. I'm jumping ahead of myself. But yeah, I like that.
Do you like that?
Dude, Australia is
I like that you knew where I was going.
Pressure cooker.
Oh my God.
We got to take that place out now before it goes Mad Max.
Oh my God. When they I was like, that's Australia. Oh, we're just in Australia.
I love that it's Australia, though, because it's like so believable.
Yeah, I never saw the first one, and I don't really know a lot about the backstory. Well, now I do. But I was like, oh my God, I thought it was like a separate universe, maybe on another planet. I don't know why I thought that. But
how would you know? But yeah, it's just like, yeah, of course it would be Australia. Like, where else would... It just makes the most sense.
It does make the most sense. Yeah, so you mentioned the green place.
Yeah, well, I guess I brought up the green place because it was like the one place where there were women doing anything other than giving birth.
Yeah, the way women were like in this movie, I did actually write down when it was the beginning when little Furiosa was brought to Dementus for the first time. And one of the first things I wrote was, where are all the girls?
It's just dudes.
It's just dudes.
Just dudes.
And then a little girl, and I was like, well, I know where this is going because it always goes there, unfortunately. And it did go there a little bit, but it was really subtle, and I'm really glad that it was subtle because...
Yeah, I didn't even need that, but
I know that.
I'm glad it was subtle though.
Homo rectus's room
was that rectus or was that
It wasn't scrotus.
It wasn't scrotus, you're right, it was rectus.
I clocked which one was scrotus and rectus immediately.
Names in this movie. I mean, the original one did that as well. Like,
okay.
I'm pretty sure there was a guy named like Bigus Dickus or something.
If you're going to have a wasteland in the middle of Australia with a lot of dudes, that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's the most realistic part of the movie.
Dude,
wait, we're not done talking about the women though. We can't jump around too much because we have so much to say.
There's so much.
So many thoughts. So, yeah, his room with all like the little like baby doll parts.
Unnerving.
I was like, is Homo rectus? That's not his actual name. It's like Bummy Rectus or something. But I was like,
I think it's Rectus Erectus.
Oh, whatever. There's rectus in it. I was like, pedophile? I was like, oh, he's playing with the little girl's hair. Oh, no.
Yeah, we didn't like that.
But then she was like...
Yeah, she got out of there real quick.
And yeah, there was like that little room with all the women. And then that woman gives birth to like the two-bodied baby.
Yeah.
Which was crazy because usually things have two heads.
Okay.
Not this one.
I thought that was twins, but that was like a mutant kind of baby.
I'm pretty sure it was like a mutant kind of baby.
Okay.
Yeah, because what did she say? She was like, I promise I'll give birth to a single or a normal, not normal, but like a right baby. I don't know. It was not
See,
twins.
I thought that they wanted a boy. And if it wasn't a boy, it was like, that's not a real soul.
Oh, you thought they were going to take it there.
I don't know. I didn't really understand. It can be a confusing world.
Yeah.
I was so surprised though that the women had like this sanctuary area.
Yeah.
Because I don't recall seeing
usually
anything
they're in
like that
chains and
in the first movie. But it was sick.
Man, okay, actually really quick, if there was a song to go with this movie, it would be Chains and Whips. Okay, sorry.
Hard disagree. You need to see the first one.
Okay, sorry.
Rock and roll.
Oh, yeah. Well, what about a rock and roll cover of it?
No.
You don't believe in the power of Rihanna.
I don't.
Anyway, we should move on from that or we're going to fight.
Yes.
Yeah, women.
Okay, well, that's what the movie starts out with. And
wait, there was another thought in my brain about the women of the movie. Oh, and that was her pretending to be a boy was really smart. Women have been doing that for a really long time. And I was like, cool.
A classic trope.
Yeah, classic trope. And every time Furiosa cut her hair, she was like reborn again, which is also a very classic. I don't want to say like it's always like the reborn again because, you know, they cut the indigenous people's hair when they took them to the residential schools. Like the cutting of the hair symbolizes like a new identity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Sometimes good, sometimes bad. What are you looking at? Everything good?
No, it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think in this, obviously it wasn't for super, super good, but anyway, something to note.
I really liked the opening sequence of this film.
Oh, it was so fast.
Like, thank you. I just felt like everyone was competent from the get-go.
Yes.
Like the girl, like young Furiosa was as good as I could possibly expect her to be from the start. Like she's contributing.
She's not like a...
Yeah. I really, really appreciated that. I loved that girl was like just a sniper.
Yeah.
Sniping is just so cool.
Like the woman?
Yes.
Yeah.
The woman, not the girl.
That's fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just shots.
Shots fired.
I just felt like as soon I felt like as soon as we just were in this movie, I was like, I'm ready to roll. I'm in this.
The pacing was fast. It got me from the start. I liked how quick it was. And I actually really loved that they didn't return to the green place in the movie. I was like, cool. We're not ending with her like magically walking home.
So do you know what happens?
No.
Do you want to know what happens?
No.
Okay, I don't. Well, I feel like we should talk about it because there are people
like in
listening
the next movie?
In the next movie.
Well, in the first movie, that's the next movie.
Mad Max Fury
They really
Road.
Star Wars this.
Yes.
Darn
yeah,
it.
yeah.
No, well, like you can talk about it, but I can't contribute.
I need to talk about it at least a little bit.
Release your inhibitions.
Basically, all Mad Max Fury Road is they drive really far in one direction.
Fury Road.
And then they just drive back. That is the movie. That is the movie plot.
Where do they drive to?
They're driving to the green place.
Oh.
They don't get there.
Oh.
Believe it's not there anymore.
Oh.
They get there. They're disappointed. There or something or other. And then they're like, we got to go back.
Then what's the climax of the movie?
I don't know. They get back.
Oh my God. Okay. I need to watch it.
You do need to watch it.
Learn.
And it's been a while since I've seen it, but it was so crazy to me that, okay, I was thrown off because Furiosa is in Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
Not played by Anya Taylor-Joy.
No.
So I was like, oh, what? But then at the end of the movie, there's like the scenes of just the previous film.
Oh, yeah, like the end of...
the end of Furiosa.
The end of Furiosa.
Has Mad Max Fury Road shot.
Yeah, and like there's shots of Furiosa, and I was like, oh, did they just add it with the same filter so there would be some continuity? But she's actually
different actress.
Yes.
And so that threw me off hard. I'm like, okay, it's the same character.
Right.
And I realized that
I hate when they do that.
Yeah, it's not great.
I'm kidding.
But
I don't care.
Yeah, I didn't. Me neither. It's fine. Yeah. So I liked the continuity of it.
Yeah.
The last shot is like, okay, and then she initiates Mad Max.
Yeah. I really want... Well, I was going to watch the first one, which is the second one. I was going to watch Fury Road this week, but I never got around to it. And I'll be excited to watch it now, having seen Furiosa first, because that last conversation between her and Dementus, of him being like, you're basically me now. I'll be excited to see if she's more like him in Fury Road. I thought that was a really important point. You know, he's kind of like, we're all gray. Ta-da. Like, there's no black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah,
totally
I'm excited to deal with that.
You're going to have a very interesting perspective watching this first and then watching Fury Road.
People were comparing them, and I would love to talk about that a little bit.
Sure.
If you're down.
Absolutely.
I really want to say first, though, I think it's really funny that her mom named her Furiosa, which obviously comes from the word furious, before she's mad. Like, she came out and she was like, Furiosa for sure. It'd be like Depressiosa, and then like you can't be surprised when your kid's really sad.
True.
Like, you kind of prophesized that.
What a crazy way to just like
throw
your kid into the
This kid probably
universe.
Furiosa. They like pulled out a motion from a hat. Definitely this. I don't know. I thought that.
No,
I was
I
like
like that.
Wow, okay. It's not. I was like, maybe it's a nickname. Maybe her name is like Brittany. No.
I was waiting for like the Leviosa joke. But...
Oh, man. I know. I thought about this before I read anything online. I was just like walking along and I was like, Furiosa. Not Furiosa. But everyone on the internet is saying that.
It's a good joke though. Like low hanging fruit.
But is it?
But
though?
I think it's a good joke.
I mean, I think it's funny. If you've ever seen Harry Potter, you'll get it. And if you haven't, you probably think everyone's literally insane.
True.
You're like, why do people keep capitalizing one section of the word?
No, they know. If you don't know, like, who are you? Yeah. Anyway, so we want to compare the two?
Well, yeah. I mean,
what do you got?
I read a lot of reviews that talked about the comparison. And some reviews were like, well, this is nothing like Mad Max Fury Road. If you're looking for more of that, you're going to be disappointed. And other people were like, if you're looking for that, this is actually something that's different and awesome. And other people were saying, if you're not looking for that, you should go watch this because it's so different. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, it's so different, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, people, of course it's different. It's a different movie. Anyway, this drives me crazy. This actually drives me crazy because I get comparing stuff. It's fun to compare stuff. But when people get mad that something's different, if you don't want something that's different, then go watch Fury Road again.
Yeah. I agree.
It's like reading a series. It's like people always compare like book 1 and 2 or book 2 and 3. And it's like, yes, you can definitely like one more than the other, but to justify, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't have to do that.
It's very,
some movies do like the exact same thing well. Like John Wick is just like they're like all the same. They're all the same.
But
all different.
All different.
Yeah. I read that like, well, basically, I mean, this is what I guess what it is.
Yeah.
Is like Fury Road is basically a 2-hour car chase.
Right.
The best, like, it's just sick.
I don't know.
It's
I'm
just
gonna
action,
be the judge of that.
and it's just sick. This had a little more drama.
Character.
Yeah.
Drama.
It was a little more personal.
It felt a little more personal.
Yeah.
It did some big feelings quite
It did.
well, in my opinion.
Okay.
For like what the movie is.
Okay.
Because obviously like, it's not a movie about, well, it kind of is. I don't know.
So.
But I do, when I think about comparing movies, it's very much like that quote from Barnyard. Of course, there's going to be cows. It's a cow farm. There's going to be cows outside.
Yeah.
That's what I think of.
The scene, the big driving scene.
Right.
Where they're attacking the new big guy.
This was like the big
steel rig.
Yes, the big, with the boom whacker on the back.
The boom whacker.
The bum knocker. The bomby knocker or something.
What? Yeah, something. Bomby knocker.
Butt muncher.
Sure. Yeah, whatever it was. That is like basically the entirety of Mad Max Fury Road.
Right.
And so if you were expecting just another 2-hour driving sequence, you know, they could have done that and it would have been like, yeah, that was like another really fun ride.
Right.
I think I liked that it was a little different.
Well, we got to learn parts of the wastelands.
I did find that cool, like the Bullet Factory,
Gastown.
Gastown
was super cool because it had a moat of oil.
Yeah.
Like gasoline, I think. Is that the same thing? Oil and gasoline?
Oil is refined into gasoline.
Okay, cool. Whatever. It had a moat of like dark liquid, and I thought that was
really
cool.
it was like on a
it was like a castle.
Sure.
Yeah.
The oil.
And I was like, no one's gonna swim through oil.
Castle. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
The universe is cool, and it was nice that it was kind of expanded a little bit with the two.
The middle of
main
Australia
areas.
is pretty cool.
There's just 3 priorities.
That's why no one goes there.
Living, bullets, and oil.
What's the living?
The Citadel, I guess.
Oh, the Citadel.
This is where they live.
Right. Why is everything always called the Citadel?
The Citadel.
Whatever.
Because it's like the hub, you know?
Stare out at Citadel.
It's the hub. We're going to have to remove that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Speaking of the that scene, I have a fun fact about that scene actually. From an interview. The scene, like the car chase scene.
Oh, in this movie.
Yeah,
okay.
In this movie. So, Anya Taylor-Joy in an interview said when they were talking about scenes and she was reading about that scene, she said, how are we going to do it? Just like, wow, that's going to be a thing. Was the stowaway chapter. We shot that for 78 days.
Oh my God.
So like 2.5 months.
Wow.
Yeah. She said, and so on day 35, you're like, where am I? Like, I remember as a circle day, it was the day that I finally got to get behind the cow catcher and it could stop being under the truck or on the side of the truck. And I was like, yes, I finally made it to standing up.
Wow.
Like day 35.
She's still under
the truck.
Wow.
78 days. That's so many days.
Dude. And you feel that. Like, that's a scene.
Yes. It didn't feel CGI-y. Like,
no.
It felt quite real.
Yeah.
Real.
Man.
So realistic.
That was cool.
It was super cool.
They're bringing out
that was one of my favorite parts.
Yeah. Well, then you will like Fury Road because it's a lot of that.
So I did see a little bit of Fury Road once for everyone listening and or watching. I left my TV on once when I was in high school and I woke up to like really loud noises and I was like, what is happening on my TV? And it was Mad Max Fury Road at like 2 a.m. So I was kind of like, seems cool. So I kind of stayed up and watched a bit of it and I was like, wow, it's been half an hour and they're still just on the road. So I turned it off. And I would like to revisit it now, but that kind of deterred me for a while because
it's super fair.
I was like, in action movies, car scenes are some of my least favorite scenes.
Okay.
I just do not like that. My favorite car chase scene I've ever seen was in the newest John Wick when they're going around in the circle.
That was cool.
They're driving in the circle.
That was really cool.
I was like, oh, finally, something new in a car chase scene. Because I'm telling you, when Tom Cruise is doing a car chase scene, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, it's been done a lot.
It's the same thing.
But Mad Max does it.
I know, Mad Max is cooler. It's like more visually appealing. Like they're not just like, oh my gosh, we're in Italy and there's a little Fiat. We should get into it and drive. We should kick the person out. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's more things to look at.
Yeah. That was a cool scene. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is like me being a hater, but I did feel like the end, I kind of wanted more of like a oomph.
Oh, he kind of the narrator kind of talked about that. If you're talking about the killing of Dementus,
yeah, not even that, but I guess like we went from that crazy scene, and then like her tracking him down was just like this really, like bare bones cast of just like, you know, not a whole lot of his team left, not a whole lot, just her, and I don't know. It just it was like lackluster. It was kind of fizzle.
I mean, I didn't feel that. I can see how you could feel that. And actually, that was some of what critics, air quotes, I guess we're critics now, but so. Some people were saying that it was kind of slow, like the movie.
I didn't feel like it was slow.
I didn't feel like it was slow once. If you were a person who felt that movie was slow, you are probably an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah, or you're on TikTok too much.
Or you can't. That's so true. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. You're like, oh, you're probably jumping out of planes. And I'm like, you just don't have an attention span.
Or you should help your attention span. But you've seen the first one. Comparing it to the first one, did you think it was slow? It was slower than the first one.
Yes, because it wasn't 2 hours of action.
Yeah, but I don't think that warrants calling it slow.
No, not at all. I really enjoyed like the first 2-3 chapters where just kind of seeing her and her story, I really enjoyed that. And I thought it was well paced. And the chapters did a lot for me. I actually really enjoyed having it split up into 5 chapters.
I also read somewhere that it was split into 5, and I loved that. I am someone who I like to know where we are in time, like how much longer of the movie is left. And it's not because I'm not enjoying myself. I just I like control.
I totally get that. Yeah. I didn't know that there was 5.
Yeah, so you're like,
When we hit the 3rd chapter, I was like, this is sick. It's just like a little time and space, another little time.
Yeah.
And we're already on 3.
Stowaway was like that.
Stowaway was 3.
The car chase scene. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, sick. Yeah. I love when I understand what the title means too. I know what a stowaway is. I know what's about to happen.
I thought it was really cool, like to see her climb the ranks too, and become like the other drivers. Like
I really liked that other driver bit with him. Like I was like, oh my god, they're kind of falling in love. That's weird. But I did not cry in this movie. But I did have to look away when he was being dragged, and the dogs were chasing him. I was like, that is so sadistic. I felt so uncomfortable and not weird, but I just felt so bad. They were just so close, I guess.
Yeah. Like, I wasn't even sure. I'm like, are they in love or are they just like you're on the road? We're partners.
Yeah, they definitely found something in each other.
Yeah.
They did.
Yes.
And I think that's actually a really good point. And I brought it to a place of love because I'm just
all movies
full of love.
It's a movie thing to do. And in my head, I was just like, I don't want them to be in love, so I'm not going to let them be in love.
And I mean, they did do the forehead to forehead thing, which I think is her version of a hug.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she does with her mom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I do feel like they really just saw something in each other.
Okay.
I really do. I think they had this like very, like even when they first met and she was like kicking butt and then came in the truck, he wasn't like, like some movies now are trying to be like, huh, what? Who are you? And like some like joke.
But he just locked in. He's like, she's shooting people.
He was like, she knows what to do. And there was like this silent understanding between them, and I
So
really,
true.
really liked it.
Because
so many movies now are trying to be like witty and quirky and quick, and like I feel like it's the Deadpoolification of movies and a little bit of Guardians of the Galaxy, which really worked for both of those movies, but now all the other movies are trying to do it.
Yeah, I get that.
And I'm like,
and
we
you
don't.
just ruin
Those
moments.
were successful because it worked for those movies.
Yes.
Don't ruin the moments.
That comes back to what I said about competency. Like that instant understanding. It's like, these people are smart. He's like, I've read the situation and she's working with me.
And he needed help. Like
and
he was
needed
alone.
help.
Yeah.
And she was shooting people. He was shooting
and
people.
And he knew she had this vengeance.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really thought that was well done.
I do agree. Like being like, I don't want to help you. And it's just like all this slowing it down.
Yeah. And
they
really,
didn't do that. He's like, listen, you work for me. I'll get you out of here.
It kind of takes you out of it. Like you have to suspend your disbelief so much more when it's in the middle of an action sequence and two people start talking like long sentences.
Worst.
I'm like, there is no time for this. There is no time.
This isn't really the time for this.
This isn't really. There are spiky things. There's spiky things coming. There's flames.
Yeah.
The flames are coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes you out of it.
They did a great job with that scene.
And I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think I was wondering what my favorite scene would. Oh, actually, that was not my favorite scene. Just my thoughts on the ending. I've had a bit more time to collect my thoughts here as we've been talking. I love a quick ending.
Same.
I do. I like when an ending is fast. My favorite part of movies are always like 20-ish minutes after the beginning, kind of until like 10-ish minutes before the end. So in my personal opinion, I really liked how fast it was. I liked that it was a bit more bare bone because it was about her. So stripping it back made sense to me, but I get why it felt off because everything was so like big and bombastic.
Yeah. It's just not normal for the movie to have its biggest crazy stuff in the middle.
Yeah, you're right. It's
like a weird kind of like, okay, we did our really cool stuff because this is like if you're Mad Max and we need to have
cool stuff.
But like this is not what it's all about.
Right.
And so I get where they were going for it. I think just maybe my brain was like, I want more cool stuff.
I do like that the narrator acknowledged it though. Like the narrator was like, I bet you wish that she did more to him.
Yes, that's a good point.
And I was like, oh, actually, narrator, you're wrong. I think if she tortured him, she would have been so much like him.
Yes.
Like,
unfortunately.
And I think it's great that they stood there in silence for so long because I just feel like he silenced her. Like she didn't talk for so long.
Yeah.
Like when she was pretending to be a boy, when she was when she was a kid and the first thing she says is like, is he your father? No. Burn, Dementus.
Okay. While we were talking about the big chase scene.
Yes.
One thing I actually may have been the best I've ever seen this done in a movie is the transition from child actor to main actor.
Oh.
That was handled so well.
My God, I so agree. That wig on the branch, the homemade wig on the branch to it growing.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, because again, the hair trope, like hair is very symbolic. And that like growing on the tree that it was thrown on. Oh, it was just so perfect. I was like, yes, we don't need little snippets of her growing up.
No.
This is fine.
But then even after that, she's like got all this stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like it could still be the
child.
Like you're not.
What was the child's name? It's like Alila or something.
Yes. Yeah.
Like the actress's name
actress
who does the.
Yeah. I just feel like sometimes when you've got like a star-studded cast, it's like, oh, that's Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yes.
And because she had her helmet and mask stuff on first, you get introduced to that character. And then when it comes off, it just feels like a natural progression.
Yeah.
Rather than, one day it's the girl and then the next day there was that kind of in-between mask phase.
Yes, there was a little in-between.
Yeah.
And it's not like
smoothed it out.
I feel like in movies like that Harrison Ford is in, this is just like because the new Indiana Jones came out, like you have this moment of the camera zooming in on the back of his head and then he turns around and you're like, there he is for the first time in the movie. And
it's
it
jarring.
takes you.
It's jarring. And this was.
It's like, oh my God, there's the actor. Not there's in, I don't know.
Yeah.
It takes you out of it.
I felt this like, they say like time passed, and then they have this like masked Anya Taylor-Joy that to me felt like an in between like almost actress for the other two.
Yes, I honestly thought there was an in between. I was like, is there another actress in this?
Yeah, right. And then the mask comes off, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's her.
What do you think? Some people were saying that she wasn't in it enough, and they were surprised at how little she was in it.
I can see that,
and I was like, I feel like it was half the.
Yeah, it was enough for me.
I feel one of my gripes, this might be the only one that I can think of, was that there did feel like a section in the middle, a lot of like Dementus-y stuff.
Yes.
That Furiosa wasn't around for like any of it.
Yeah.
Like kind of near the beginning. And I was like, do we need all this?
I agree.
It built the world, but I was like, I don't know.
He was kind of a dingbat.
I'm not a professional storyteller by any means, so I always like to seek out interviews before I'm really like, that was wrong.
That's super fair.
Who am I to say? Yeah, the young Furiosa was Alila Brown.
Okay,
I'm probably she did
a great job too.
But it was very good.
Okay, I want to talk about Chris Hemsworth. Do you want to go first? Okay, I'll lay out how I went into this movie.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Okay, Chris Hemsworth to me is one of those actors
Thor.
He's Thor.
I'm so excited to
I hate that is a thing. I wish I could just detach myself and be like, this is just a new it's just an actor playing a role. But listen, he's like muscle big guy with long hair. It's really hard when you look so similar to detach the two characters. So I wasn't really fully invested in this character from the start because I felt like,
right, okay,
this is Thor.
Yeah, is that it?
I can keep going.
You can keep going if you want.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get into how I thought he did.
Okay, so actually, you finish first.
Okay.
Yes, you finish first.
I thought he was one of the weaker parts of the movie.
Okay.
I didn't really find him to be a super compelling villain.
Okay.
I just
keep talking.
Like, I don't know, his motives were kind of just like being chaotic and like a renegade biker dude in the wasteland.
Demented.
Sure. And he's like the baddest of the bad. And so with all that going on, to then at the end, he's giving this like monologue about him being bad and she's going to be like him. It just didn't really feel that impactful because I didn't really see that. And part of this was probably because I'm here seeing goofy Thor, but I don't know. He still kind of felt like he was playing a bit of a goofy character.
Right.
And I don't know. I didn't love it. So that's it.
I totally disagree with you.
All righty.
I disagree with everything love to
you
be
just disagreed
said.
With.
And
Please tell me why I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. I just have a different opinion.
But I might be wrong.
He's wrong.
Yeah, there it is.
So I was going in the same way. Yeah. I was like, okay, Chris.
One more thing.
Fine.
Better than my expectation though, because I was really worried. In the trailer, I was like, oh my god, this just looks like Thor 2.
True, the trailer
didn't
made me think that.
Yeah.
Because of the clips that they chose to use where he like looks really muscularly and burly. Also, how is he so muscular? There's like no food. Anyway, whatever.
And listen.
Some men have steroids. Actually, he was less ripped than when he's Thor, though. Totally. And I was like, okay, this actually looks like a real freaking human man.
Yeah, pulled it back from Love and Thunder.
Yeah, which, oh my God, what a mess. One of the worst movies ever. Anyway, I disagree.
Let's hear it.
So he did have the hair, but I liked that it was greasy, so it stayed slicked back. It didn't look like it was professionally done, like Thor's hair does.
Totally.
So that changed it up for me a little bit. The way his facial hair was, Thor doesn't have facial hair, does he?
Movie to movie, I think.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I feel like I'm picturing his clean face, but I also conflate him and Captain America now because it's been a long time since I've seen them. The twisted mustache made me be like,
it helps.
Villain. Right. I've seen so many Disney movies. He had a prosthetic nose. And the nose really, I actually was sitting there like, there were some moments I was like, that doesn't look like Chris Hemsworth. Chris. Like there were moments where the nose was just so different that I was like, that's a different actor. Until afterwards, I looked it up and he was wearing a prosthetic nose. And I think he was so compelling. I could have watched him and Anya Taylor-Joy be in just a scene, just the two of them, I think for hours as these characters. That last conversation between them, I was like, this is so good. Now, I love that he was wearing something that looked like a cape and then it got dyed red. I was like, LOL. But it starts out white.
Yes.
And then it gets dyed red. And then at the end of the movie, the top of it's black. Yeah. So you can see his different eras of the movie in the cape, which I thought was really cool. Something I noticed. And what was the other thing that, this doesn't really have a lot to do with him, but I really liked the camera style of when he was driving in the car and they would zoom in on his face.
Really, really, really.
It felt so 70s action movie to me.
Yeah.
There were parts of this movie, I just think this movie might be timeless because it kind of takes it back to how they used to do action movies, but also keeps it new. With the fade out of the face and the fade in of the new scene, the narrator talking about the war with bits of the war happening. I was like, I feel like movies don't do this anymore. And I just really liked how sped up it was. I think that was a genius choice. Back to Chris Hemsworth. I thought he was fantastic, and I'm actually really upset that he was in Thor for so long because this movie showed that he does have range and he's not trapped in Thor for me.
Okay.
This movie showed that he can do other stuff. I think he did channel what kind of seemed like a Jack Sparrow-y, Joker-y kind of vibe. I could kind of tell maybe that Hemsworth was you could tell he's kind of did a bit of homework on the more demented silly guys. And I don't think that some movies now, I just talked about, they ruin all emotional moments because of the silliness and the jokes. But I don't think he did that. Nope. Nothing felt like it was, not that you said that, but nothing felt like it was why did you say that? He was just so quick with the line delivery. It was just the first thing that was coming to his head came out. And oh my gosh, I have so much to say. I thought he did so good. I was really impressed.
Cool.
The last thing, with the ending, I just, we didn't get a lot of, how he was sad about his family dying. We didn't get a lot of that backstory. Not saying that I wished for more of the backstory, but that teddy bear that he carried around.
Ah, dang. That is a good point.
That was just such a tell for me. He didn't want to talk about it. I think it's cool that, he was he didn't say exactly this. I'm paraphrasing. But it wasn't, you think we're so different, we're actually the same. He didn't say that, but, and him saying, you will kill me or you could torture me, but it's not going to make how you feel go away. He's I've been doing this for years. It doesn't help. And I was like, we've seen this in movies before, but I really liked it in this movie. And I can tell that he's still thinking about his family, because he clearly really cares about this teddy bear. He basically sells her to that guy with the lungs in the back of his head, and he snaps the teddy bear out of her hand. I honestly think that he formed an attachment to Furiosa because that's why he gave her the teddy bear to hold on to. He kind of saw her as he was her mentor.
Yeah.
I don't want to say father figure, but
okay.
I don't know. There was this relationship between them that I really, really enjoyed.
Man, I really missed this. I don't know where I was.
I mean, maybe I'm totally wrong.
I don't know, but I like that we're on different terms. Maybe we saw two different things.
And I mean, and maybe you were more focused on his acting, and while I was staring at the teddy bear that was hanging from his crotch area.
True.
Who knows? But I thought the teddy bear symbol, motif, prop, I guess. Prop as symbol was really strong.
I agree.
Cool.
I didn't think about the teddy bear.
Did I persuade you over here?
A little bit. I still didn't love all of him.
That's fine.
But yeah.
I'm excited. Well, I guess he's dead now.
He is.
But
he's definitely not in Fury Road.
Lost an arm.
Yeah. She lost the arm. I never thought about that because it was so long ago since I saw Fury Road. It's like, oh yeah, she only has one arm. So it's like, well, some people were watching that movie and it's like, how is she going to lose her arm?
Oh yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when she was hanging from her arm, I was like, that's not going to stay together. Yeah. Her skin's coming apart.
Yeah, it's not good.
It got burned.
Yeah.
Anyway, I really liked Chris Hemsworth, and I'm glad you brought him up because hats off to him.
You had to.
Oh, speaking more of actors, some people were also saying, so I was watching this, that there wasn't a whole lot of dialogue from Anya Taylor-Joy.
No, there wasn't.
A lot of eye acting.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? Any thoughts?
I thought she did.
What's in a look?
I wasn't sad from her performance. I enjoyed it. I thought she did great.
Totally. She kind of kills it in every movie.
You don't need dialogue all the time.
No.
And I think exactly what you said. Her eyes were.
Her eyes
doing
were speaking volumes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I had no
qualms with that.
I think she did great overall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was just so good. She said so much with her facial expressions, and I forget if I read that people were like, she should have talked more, or excellent eye work. I don't know.
I don't know. I just, at its core, what I love about this movie is how crazy the world is.
It is truly just the middle of Australia.
I don't think that is where the world would go if we had nuclear war.
If that happens, I'm killing myself. Sorry.
Yeah, but man, the guy that came up with this whole world is just, it's so unique. Is
his name George Miller?
Yeah. And he did all of them.
Another George Miller, George Lucas. Georges are very important.
This is kind of like a soft reboot on the series.
Oh.
Because there were 3 done in the 70s and 80s maybe.
Ooh,
Mel
nice.
Gibson was Mad Max.
I believe
and then they were going to bring it back in the 2000s, and Mel Gibson did a couple oopsies.
No, I think he meant to.
Yeah, you're right.
Mel Gibson sucks.
That was a sarcastic oops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was a little oopsie, And anyway, so then they were like, well, maybe we won't. And then we got 2015.
And then you got the 20.
It was Tom
2015?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been 9 years.
Oh my gosh. I really just feel like I was in junior high when it woke me up in the middle of the night. But no, I was really in high school.
Yeah.
I said high school, but
so, just the whole world of the religion of the I can't think of the name, but they spray silver on their
mouth. Yeah, I don't know. Without subtitles, I really struggle.
I know, but I love that there's this whole we're willing to die, and
we're willing to die. I'm gonna spray paint my mouth.
Witness me. Yeah.
Oh, it's so masculine.
It's
my
so
God.
masculine.
They were. Somebody explored some bodies in
there. There is no attention to detail. It's just
yes, there was.
No. What I'm getting at is the guys, their rooms would just be a poster and a chair. It's just dudes setting up.
Every time they organize themselves, I was like, what world? What world after living in this world? I don't know. I was just like, what backs did they build this empire on? Because it wasn't these guys. It was not these guys.
It's cool.
Know. I'd love to have that lung guy's story.
He's the ruler and stuff.
I know, but he's so interesting, and his kid's Homo erectus and
he doesn't
and Scrotus. I don't know.
He doesn't give a lot.
No,
he doesn't say a lot. But he's in the other movie too.
Yeah,
because she steals his wives.
Yes.
So that's the whole plot of.
Right. I love how he got mad at the woman for birthing a child with 2 bodies, but maybe it was his fault.
That's true.
It probably was when you look at him. He's got something up.
Yeah, something's weird.
Going on.
Something's weird.
He needs some medicine.
Yeah. I don't know. It was interesting.
Yeah. Okay. When there was a scene near the end where I think somebody goes around a big sand dune. People yearn for the desert. I thought about Dune watching this.
Yeah, didn't I too? Yeah. I'm like, you guys aren't being very conservative with your water.
I know, when that guy got sucked into the sand, I was like, worm. I was like, oh my God, no. But when somebody, I don't know where other, decided to go around, it was probably Dementus, but Furiosa went like straight up in a car or something.
On her bike.
I was waiting for Renegade to start playing, and I was like, Jeep Cherokee, like 39% off or something. I don't know. I was like, this feels like a car commercial now.
That is funny.
Yeah. Anyway, I had to add that little quip in there because I was like, Renegade.
I don't know if it was around that time, but in my brain, like, you just reminded me of this. There's a scene where she's like just kind of walking and like she passes out.
With her arm off?
Yes.
Yep.
And there's like a dude just kind of watching her.
Oh yeah, where did he go?
And I was like, is that supposed to be Mad Max?
Okay, actually,
was it Tom Hardy? I didn't really look.
Whoa. Okay, I did not think about that. That is so fun because people in the theater were kind of like.
So maybe that was Tom Hardy.
Because the girl in front of us,
Mad Max.
Yeah, like the girl in front of us, like she kind of like freaked out every time something important happened, and it was really helpful for me because I was like, pay attention. Attention.
What's his name? Like Impetus Joe? What? Impetus Joe? The main leader.
Impetus Joe.
Something like Impetus Joe, dude. Imperatus.
You could say any word right now. You could be like Grimicius.
Yeah, it's like Imperative Joe. Something Joe.
Cool.
That's the leader guy. When he showed up, that girl was like, yo.
Oh, yeah. She was like, oh, my God.
They build the rig, and she's like, yo. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, my God.
And every time she freaked out, you would lean in and tell me what she was freaking out about, which was great. I had, like, the visual, the auditory.
I love how, like, smart they are with all their stuff.
Yeah.
Like, on their rig, they've got that pole that they bounce back and forth.
Oh, my gosh. That looked so fun. I was like, give me some rope on a pole.
It's all that, like, realistic, smart. Like, I love that.
Yeah, because
all their
it's like
mishap.
It makes sense.
Engineering.
And it wouldn't be a rope like a pirate ship.
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't work.
It'd be a pole.
In a moving car.
It was great.
Yeah, loved it.
Yeah, they're boomsticks.
They're boom whackers.
What were we talking about though? I don't know. Tom Hardy, maybe. I feel like that was kind of what it had to be. Yeah.
Sorry.
Just a little.
I feel like that was that Max before he was mad? No, he met Furiosa and then he became Mad Max.
She instilled the madness into him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
got
right.
anything else?
No, that was everything I had.
Are we going to the reviews?
I mean, I'm trying to think of something else because I did really like this movie. I liked the costumes. I thought were really fun to look at. And I don't know, this movie just kept me entertained. Yes. Like some people are like, it was okay. Like there are some reviews that didn't really like it. And I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm like, if you can keep me entertained, I'm in. I'm all in. And like, I know there are some quieter movies that have really important dialogue and deal with really important themes. And I'm not saying they're bad. They just don't keep me as entertained. I want to be, if you're going to show me a visual, take me into your world. Like if I wanted to create my own, I'd read a book. But if you're showing me it, lock me in. Yeah. And this movie, it got me.
It was a fast 2 hours. I was like, we're done.
It was. Wow. I love when things are fast paced. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Maybe that's our attention spans.
Yes.
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't know. I feel like I've always been this way. Anyway.
You got some reviews for us?
I do have some reviews and they are buzzing. Let's see. This woman added, her last name is Colangelo. She added that Fury Road is an even better movie because of Furiosa.
Ooh, yep.
There was one critic that said, it's from Slasher Film or Slash Film. It's a really popular website for movie reviews. Anyway, and I needed to highlight that because I wanted to ask you about it. I know you haven't seen it in a while.
Finishing this, I'm like, I want to go watch Fury Road like right now, and we shouldn't. But
well, I feel like just seeing Fury Road, you don't have all these places.
Yeah.
Which kind of felt like Mario worlds because they were all like circular.
I know. They're just this little contained area. Yeah. No, I totally agree. And I love it when something does that. It totally puts Fury Road higher.
Yeah.
And that's like, Fury Road is like one of the most loved movies of all time.
Yeah, people really like it.
Like,
I'm excited to watch it.
Like, I'm pretty sure it's in like IMDb's like top 100.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
Like the new one or the old ones?
I think the new one.
Yeah, I really like Tom Hardy. Like
he's good.
He's the reason I liked Venom.
Yeah, he kind of
I totally get why Venom is awful, but it's like kind of so awful it's really fun.
Nah, I think Venom's fine.
I like Venom.
Me too.
This is also an episode about Venom. All right. Writing for the Los Angeles Times, Joshua Rothkopf was particularly hard on Miller's use of CGI in Furiosa, saying, quote, "Too much of its blood and fire," weird, there was barely any blood in it anyway, "is the work of computers, and for the first time that work is obvious. Much of the praise for Fury Road has always been connected to its use of practical effects, such as crafting a real flame-throwing guitar, blah, 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 blah." Rothkopf added that there's something very un-Mad Max about this, in the sense of CGI. What are your thoughts?
I get where they're coming from.
Yeah.
There were a few scenes that was definitely like obvious CGI and it didn't look good.
It didn't look, well, I mean, when they were showing the clips before the credits or during the credits, I was like, oh my God, that looks insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited to watch it.
So I feel like there was a little like I'm sure the
like it was a different movie.
Yeah, but there were some scenes that they didn't look great to me.
No, there was a couple moments too where the lips and the voices were a little wonky with the words, which I will never ever get over Madam Web for just doing that to that man in the movie. So now I'm really looking for it. I'm like, gosh, I never cared. I was looking at someone's like boots or something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I see where they're coming from. Didn't ruin the movie.
Yeah.
A lot of sickness.
Yeah, this Joshua didn't really
I wish we could have got a little bit more of the guitar guy.
Well,
that's like a key truck in the chase in Fury Road.
You can't put all the same stuff in a movie
about
cool. Furiosa.
They just have a war truck with a guy playing shredding electric guitar with these big amps. It's so cool.
It's feeling like my hometown now.
We didn't need it. We had it in Fury Road.
So, Nicholas Barber, who writes for the BBC, said, "You soon reach the point where you're sick of sand, sick of explosions, sick of off-puttingly sadistic violence, and sick of thunderous drums bashing away on the soundtrack."
What?
And yet the film keeps piling on more and more and more and more of them.
I literally was just like, there wasn't enough.
Yeah, clearly you do not agree. Somebody might agree.
No, that was not. I hard disagree with that.
Picking through this sentence, I didn't notice the thunderous drums.
Okay,
if we're going to talk about loud movies, Dune 2 was really loud, but I loved it. I love loud movies.
Yes.
I don't
actually
hear anything else.
think the soundtrack was a little lacking in this one.
There were a couple moments where I was like, ooh, fun.
I don't remember a single song.
This is also tough, though, because we've seen Challengers so recently.
It's true. I hate to keep comparing it to Fury Road because Fury Road is so good.
I know, it has.
And if Fury Road didn't, I think I need to just like look at this in a vacuum and be like, what is this for? It is, and it's such a good movie.
Yeah,
it's just that I then compare it to like Fury Road, and it's like, oh, it's not quite there, but it's still so good and it's so fun.
It's so good. I'm excited to watch it again. I feel like it's gonna. If I have children, I'll be like, hey, watch this, and they'll be like, yeah, my mom sat me down and forced me to watch Furiosa like over and over. That was the Indiana Jones story from my dad.
Oh, I see.
Where was it? There was a point in the movie. I can't completely disagree with this from Nicholas because there was a point where I was like, I think it was when that guy was getting like dragged around.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sad now and I don't need any more.
Were you sad when the guy got pulled apart by the...
Yes, but that was in the beginning.
So
it was okay, I haven't been like watching this for a while.
It was just a lot.
But I was like, oh my god, how long are they going to show him being dragged? Like,
do you think his that scene, part of that scene where he kind of just like sits on his car and just like
Honda Civic?
Yeah. Do you think that was like it kind of they played well together of him just being like, dude, this sucks?
Well, he goes like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
Like he quietly says that. And I think that's great because it comes before him saying like, it's not going to fix you.
Yeah.
You like like torturing. She doesn't torture people, but he's just like, look, it's just not going to help.
Yeah.
Yeah. But luckily, there wasn't any more, or a lot more sadism that happened after that. Like, there was still, like, sad moments, but it wasn't as bad as, like, some of the other parts. So I was like, cool. I was kind of done with it, and now it's done. Nice. So, I don't know. I didn't mind.
Yeah. Anything else?
I mean, I have my funny ones, but you can go.
All right. Honestly, I don't think I have that much. So you just go.
Wow.
Yeah, we kind of covered everything that the review that I have.
This was so fun.
Says.
I was so excited to get home to talk about it. I feel like I'm forgetting. I feel like there's just so many. I really liked Anya Taylor-Joy. I really liked Alila Brown. I'm so sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I feel like it sounds like I'm talking to them. It sounds like I'm doing like a Grammy speech and I have to go really fast and I don't.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I thought. Yeah, no, that's it. That's it for me.
All right.
We
so
covered it all.
Matt on Letterboxd said to the person who brought the stinkiest shrimp scampi, I don't know, seafood I have ever smelled in my entire life to the press screening of Furiosa. Thank you for helping me experience the true horror of living in the wasteland firsthand. And he was like, my actual review can be found here. But
wow, that's funny.
Man, that reminds me of the part where maybe Tom Hardy like gets her, but then like brings her to a tunnel. And it's like that lady scraping the bugs.
All the maggots.
Oh my gosh.
On the food.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I don't live in that world.
I was like, oh yeah, I cannot wait to go home to my peaceful house. Okay. Tyler, who gave the movie 5 stars, never ever mess with a woman during her buzz cut era.
Ooh, nice.
And I thought that was really funny, bringing it back to the hair. Well, there's more. Flynn, who gave it 4.5 stars. This is out of 5 on here. Somehow even better than Fury Road. I've been shaking for the last 3 hours. I love the sound of motorcycles. The mom in the beginning is so hot. Those are my thoughts.
Nice.
Which I don't know. I thought that was really funny. And the mom was really hot. Those are my thoughts. God, I love the sound of motorcycles. Hot moms. That's it.
I love they threw that in there.
Yeah.
Also love the chariot motorcycle. That was cool.
Oh my gosh. That was
a good one.
That was fun.
Yes.
Because like Dementus.
Yeah, it's kind of like, just don't think about how it works, how the speed on it works.
You know
don't
what?
think about that.
I know absolutely nothing about motorcycles, but we have 2 friends who have their own motorcycles. And I'm sure if they saw that, they'd be like, no. Like completely disregarding everything else.
Don't think about it.
There was a couple, but I don't know anything about motorcycles.
There's a lot of don't think about it.
I don't know.
But you kind of just got to be like, okay, this is like...
It's a made-up world.
Yeah, Borderlands kind of...
People who were like, it's not realistic. Yeah, oh my God,
like
stop going to fictional movies then.
Yeah, her arm is like robotic. Like
also her arm's being eaten by maggots. Like that's probably an infection.
No, that's the thing. That's a real thing.
That helps.
Yeah, the maggots eat the dead skin only.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, so slay maggots.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, I was thinking that. I saw it and I was like, okay, she's going to die from infection then. But then I thought, wait, maybe that helps. Because if you can't
I don't think it would stop your infection, but I guess maybe.
True, maybe it doesn't help, but it doesn't. It just eats the dead skin.
Is a thing they did.
Whoa. Yeah. Okay, cool. You learn something new every day, folks. Sound off if that's what you learn too. And the last one I have is we finally got Norse mythology accurate Thor.
Whoa.
I don't know anything about Thor, but I thought that was really interesting.
Neither.
Because obviously that's his like titular role.
I guess Thor is like not such a good dude probably because he is a god and they're usually not good dudes.
I don't know. Thor is just definitely not like what he is in the Avengers. LOL.
Yes.
And Did you hear that Disney like went on like people who are selling like things with like Thor and Loki attached to them? They like lawsuited them. And it's like, you can't, how can you do that to a god?
It's a god.
You can't trademark a god.
You can't trademark a god, Disney. Stop that.
Trademark a god.
Stop it.
What's a king to a god? What's a god to Disney?
Nice.
What's Disney to a non-believer?
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
All
right, Liv. What's your final rating on this one?
I forgot about that.
I feel like I've just been sitting here like, this wasn't so good, and I'm about to drop my highest rating yet.
Oh my, pod. This gets a 9 out of 10 for me.
A 9 out of 10.
For you too?
Oh, woo. My rating is a 9.1.
Whoa. Okay, what gives you the 0.1?
The 0.1?
Why not? Why
9.0? Where is your 0.1 lacking?
I just like even numbers.
No, we exist on a 1 degree decimal system. I don't think that's right.
0.035.
No. Everyone knows how this works. It's
Well, I'm doing it the way it would work in Furiosa, which is different than here.
Or you could do it out of 100 and I give it a 91. But that doesn't feel as good. I give it a 9.1 out of 10.
I'm sorry.
Please be sorry.
Okay, I give it a 9. I don't know. I just like it. It sounds good.
Fine. That's our highest rating, I think.
It is.
I
think that got higher than my Challengers one, honestly.
You gave Challengers a 9.5, but I gave it an 8.5.
Whoa.
So that averages to a 9.
Wow, yeah. I was going to say.
This average is 9.05. Right.
Whoa, okay.
So this is better than Challengers, and I agree.
What? No. Personally, I don't think it was better than Challengers.
Not for you, but our average. This is our highest average score.
Sorry. This one deserves a better average.
It does. I'm glad. It does. You agree.
Bigger everything. Bigger spectacle.
Yeah, this is a good one.
I just personally like the themes of Challengers more, but
sure.
That's me.
Guitar flamethrower. That's great. Is that it?
I think that's it. So you can listen now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Oh yeah, we're all up on everything if you want to listen to other stuff too.
We're all up on everything.
Yeah, go do that. But you did YouTube and you made it all the way through. You one person listening right now, comment and let us know.
Please
you made it.
Let us know what you think of our opinions. I really would love to hear what people think about Hemsworth's performance. I feel like that's going to be a big
split.
A big.
That was in my review that I read. It was like that person didn't like it, but they saw a lot of other people really liked his performance.
I've only read people liking it.
So I don't know.
It's something I'm really curious about. I'm going to be asking everyone I know who sees the movie. That's going to be one of my first questions. What did you think of Chris Hemsworth's performance? Because we know Anya Taylor-Joy can deliver. Other people in it did deliver.
Yeah.
Alila Brown delivered.
Oh yeah.
And in my opinion, Chris delivered.
All right. That's it.
So, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.
Don't like, don't comment. Just subscribe.
Oh. Bye.
Or comment too. Okay. 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 Okay.